recording this live?
But that would be terrible. I'm in my pajamas. I took I was out doing some stuff and I was pretty hot and sweaty, so I took a shower and then I'm like, well, I could put clothes back on, or I could put my pajamas on, which are a lot more comfortable.
Nobody's gonna see this anyway. Andrew hits. There's a new button on the bottom of the thing we use, and it said "Go Live," and I was like, what? I don't do a lot of editing to it, but yeah. I think we'd be amazed if like one person was like, "Oh my gosh, somebody's watching us right now."
They'd be like, whoa, and then they comment, you're like, whoa, that's weird. This is like a private conversation. What are you doing commenting? I don't know.
Which is funny because then we do post it, and I fully know that we post this, and I am very curious as to who listens to it. There are people who listen to it, and there are people who listen to it all the time. And I'd really like to know more about those people.
What is it that has tickled your fancy about our podcast?
Yeah, because if they
Yeah,
listen to us all the time, I mean, they can't be completely oddities. Like if they're going to listen to us and our ramblings, right? Then they would fit within our genre of people that could hang out with.
I would assume so.
It's a fair assumption.
Yeah, no, that is true. It would be interesting. Well, maybe someday someone might comment just because of that, but who knows? Although
knows?
it feels like forever since we've done this. I know it's only been a month or 2 months
2
because it's
months,
the
yeah.
summer. The summer always feels so long and so fast at the same time.
Yeah, and like no time to do like. There's very little of the summer left, and it's like I felt like I missed half of it, and I don't have enough time to do all the things that we need to do or want to do, or and just
Oh,
like I didn't get to do any of this, I didn't get to do any of that. Anyway,
it's been
this
crazy.
is the only reason that I fired up the forge at all. Was
Yeah,
was
that's
to do
fair.
this. Like so
For me, it was the opposite. I got hooked up in a couple like other projects, and because I think oh, I got 2 months, I don't have to worry about this one. It just kind of went on and on. I'm like, oh, gotta get this done. And it actually, even now, like I was rushing to finish it because I've got another project for someone I volunteer with out Lying Pioneer Village Museum that wants it done by Labor Day. And I'm making a vertical reflective oven that they saw on a Facebook post from another historical site. And they cook for a reenactment down in, I believe it's in the Niagara region on Labor Day. And they're like, yeah, we want this by then. I'm like, okay, sure. So I've been working on that all week, trying to get that done.
cool. Interesting things we get up to.
It is. So yeah, the summer one's always a weird one, but it was fun. Here's my question for you. What does a toothbrush have to do with a boat?
No idea.
So my electric toothbrush became possessed. Yeah, I know. So I was brushing my teeth with it, and it just stopped. I'm like, that's weird, and I hit the button because it runs for 2 minutes, right? And every 30 seconds, it does a little beepy sound that you're supposed to do a different
Yeah.
quadrant of your teeth.
Yeah.
So it just stopped. I'm like, whatever. Started it again. It ran for 10 seconds. It stopped. Then I looked at the charger and I'd forgotten to plug it in after I got from the cottage. I'm like, okay. It just was running out of battery. So I charged it. The next day, it started doing the same thing, which I'm like, okay, that's weird. Maybe it's just really, really old because it is a very old electric toothbrush. So I turned it off and I put it on the charger and it started making this weird little beep, 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 beep sound. So I stopped it and I put it back on the charger. And then about 5 minutes later, beep, 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 beep. So I stopped it again. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll just leave it on the counter. Leave the bathroom. 2 minutes later, it started its whole cycle. I'm like, what? Well, so I went in, turned it off, put it back on, left the bathroom. 2 minutes later, it started its whole cycle again. I'm like, okay. And of course, this is 10:30 at night. I'm like, we're trying to sleep, and this thing is going off, and of course you're hearing the bzzz rattle. Okay, fine. What am I gonna do? So my wife says, "Well, take the battery out." I'm like it's all encased. It's not like it's a battery that pops out. It goes on a charger. So I took it out to the shop and I hit the bottom with a hammer a couple times to loosen it to pull out the whole charge. The thing is going off while I pull it out. It's still going. I start cutting some wires. I removed the tip part. It's still vibrating as I'm cutting wires. I cut off the whole vibration unit, so it's not vibrating, but the lights are still on. I completely tore the thing apart.
Wow.
However,
Okay.
it's an it's an electromagnetic battery. It's got a thin coil of wire wrapped around in a coil to do its electricity generation. My boat has netting in the middle. So
Oh.
my boat is a catamaran, and they're connected. I put some netting between the two. That netting is from
Is
my
your
electric
toothbrush wire?
toothbrush. See, full circle. So
I
I
was
have
wondering where it was
incorporated
going.
my toothbrush into my boat.
We have done a toothbrush holder, but that's an interesting toothbrush holder.
There you
Interesting.
go.
So you had a was it the red wire or the blue wire? You had.
I cut the red wire and kept going. It was the incorrect wire.
Had it been a bomb, it would have gone off. That's good. That's good.
It was very strange. So, needless to say, I now have to go and buy a new electric toothbrush.
I would imagine that you have half of it in your boat that you might need some more.
It is no longer functional. But how did you find the build?
Um, I was wondering how I was. I obviously okay. Titanic is actually metal, and there's a lot of metal ships and everything out there. And I'm sure that there's some smart person out there that may have posted some formula online that says it has to have so much surface displacement to have, to be able to float steel of what.
Oh, yeah.
I'm I'm
There's
not that
textbooks
person.
with that in it.
Oh yeah, I'm not that person.
No.
So I was wondering how I was going to get steel to float because one of the things was it has to fit in your hand, right? So I was concerned that enough steel to spread out enough, you know, I got to be able to. I'm not making it out of aluminum foil, uh, so I was like, well, okay, just to try this, early in July, I took a piece of sheet metal, folded it in half, and welded the two sides of it, essentially making a little envelope. Um, and didn't heat it up, but just kind of put a chisel in it to maybe open it an inch at the
Open it,
top,
yeah.
and wanted to see if my welds hold to it. And I put that in the water, and that actually floated, float,
Float.
float, float.
It float.
It float.
It
Yeah, it
No,
float.
that sounds weird now.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't just me. Anyway,
No.
um, I mean, barely, but it was essentially just a piece of folded metal welded together and opened, an inch at the top. So I was like, well, this gives me enough hope that if I spread it open, that I could actually make a boat out of it and stuff. So then I got a little bit more invested in it and shapes and like cutting cardboard to see how wide I need to open it to look like a boat and all these things. Um, and that's what I did. I heated it up in the forge, drove a big ball punch in the middle of it. It was on uh, the the stories on Instagram and everything, and opened it up in the middle, and that's essentially what my boat is. It's got a keel, so it's pretty stable as far as like staying upright. Um, but it does not have a lot of distance between the water line and the top of the boat.
No, no. Your freeboard is pretty low.
I do not have a lot of freeboard, although it is very stable. So I was able to add a mast. So the mast kind of is a fun little thing with a little sail and a Deer Run logo on it and everything. But there
Memory
is
serves, the mast is not metal. It's a lighter material. Is that correct?
it is wood. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, but does not help in the flotation of the boat. That was one of the rules.
Completely enclosed in the metal. Absolutely.
Yep. I did ask if I could have a wooden deck, and you said yes. So
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I was just thinking because if you put a metal mast in it, it might have made it a bit top heavy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really like you were saying. I should have put a cannon on it, and I was like, oh, let me imagine a little anvil at the front, as like the figure horn. I did actually have to weld. You can't see it because of the wooden in there, but I did actually have to weld a nut into it because I don't know if you can see, but the bow comes up higher, so it actually kind of sat like this, making this the low point. So I had to weld a little. I put a bunch of uh, old bolts and rusted things in it, and then to get it to sit where it sits.
So you even have ballast
I
in the
have
boat.
ballast in the boat. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
However, I have taken this to a stream, and preliminary tests are not good. It floats. It goes downstream. It handles current really, really well. Wind conditions, it's fine. The problem is in the depth of water. If there's any rocks that happen to hit the keel and shift the boat to
Built
one
it a
side,
little bit to this side.
that freeboard just disappears, and then it just um yeah. So
Here's a
I
question.
yeah.
Because you have a sail on it. Have you tried it like in windy conditions? Will the wind catch a sail enough to push over to the side to capsize it?
That I actually haven't tried. That is something we
Like how firmly attached is the sail? Is it attached at both the top and the bottom? Like it will
it
actually
is, yeah.
catch? Okay,
Oh
so it
yeah.
would catch
Yeah.
wind.
It would catch wind, and it is adjustable. I could, bring it in. It could go either side.
Yeah. So it could capsize it on the port or on the starboard.
Yeah. Well, my thinking is I'm sure if enough wind it would push it over, but because of said it is pretty sturdy, I'm thinking that the keel and I think it would actually blow it in a semi-straight line. I really do.
Just all depends. So a little bit of wind, but not too much wind.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That is fair.
So yeah, that's how my build went. I was able to weld because this was my thing. I got to weld the seams of the sheet metal, so it has to be a thick enough gauge sheet metal that I'm not just gonna like melt the crap out of it when I weld it, but also thin enough that it's gonna,
It still stays buoyant.
yeah.
Interesting balance, but you have a boat that does float and fits in your hand, and it looks pretty good. And of course, because it's you and you put your logo and everything, the sail has your Deer Run Forge logo on it.
Oh,
Looks
oh
sharp.
yeah, yeah.
Is it actually canvas? The
It is.
sail?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. See? No, it's the little touches. It looks great. It looks. Did you enjoy building it?
I enjoyed because I didn't think I was going to be able to build it. I really didn't think I was going to be able to build a boat of that scale that way. And then when I did build it, there was definitely some joy, and then like being able to balance it, and like, it looks like I don't know, it looks like a little kid's toy boat, basically.
It
I don't know.
does. Yep, that you
Um,
see on the little fountains and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like
and it
kids like
and
putting the fountain push off.
so that's kind of cute to me. And then I was really excited that it float and everything, and I took it to the stream, and I was really really gung ho, and then it proceeded to sink multiple times, and it kind of deflated me a little bit.
Uh,
Not gonna lie. So I did enjoy building it. I do enjoy the boat, but
so maybe you
not
have too much ballast in it.
maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Because the welded together keel would give it enough weight to stay upright. I think because you needed it to get the bow up, right? Yeah. So if you didn't need to do that, it might have a bit more freeboard. Like I'd like, how much weight did you put in it?
Just like a bolt, like a 3/8 bolt, 1 inch 3/8
Okay.
bolt. Like it's not that much. I actually when I was building it, weighed the boat. I forget what it weighed. And then I added marbles to it to see how much it would actually hold before it sank, and it held its own weight in marbles almost identically. So if it weighed 300 grams, then the marbles that it
300 grams
could
of
hold,
marbles.
it was very close to the 300 grams too. So it was, I was like, oh, I'm pretty impressed with that. That's not horrible. It's not great, but you know.
But yeah, very nice. Well done.
But as soon as you get any water in it, it does just move it down enough that
That it's done.
it's done. It's toast.
You know, that's fair. See, because when we started doing this, like when we talking about doing the project, not when we started it, you had mentioned a catamaran. I'm like, that's a really good idea. So that's what I did. I made a catamaran. And I somewhat used your same technique. So I took copper and folded it in half. Now instead of welding it, I soldered it. Um, and I sort of looked at how it would splay. So instead of having like the boat shape cut out and then soldered, it actually has the boat shape and then an extra dome part. So it would give me some more sides going up
Hmm.
that I could then shape and put some like little patterning into it. Because I actually, after I soldered the sides together, I scalloped the top. Um, so it kind of looks like, I don't know, maybe rainbows. I don't know whatever that. I've always called it scalloping, but I don't know.
No, I
And
sca-
then
like
I
the
actually,
side of a seashell, like type
yeah,
of.
that kind
Yeah.
of thing. But then I folded them down so it's got sort of an rimmed edge that has little scallops all the way around. So but the top is now smooth. Now, of course, my challenge is I'm using solder and not welding. So as I was opening it, especially the first one, I popped a couple of the seams. I was kind of expecting it. The second hull, I soldered much better, and it didn't pop at all. So I had to resolder it after I'd opened it, and I did the same thing. I used a what's the term for you that it almost looks like a dice, a dapping die. That's what it is. I
Yeah.
used the dap. Are they the dappers?
I don't
I
know
don't
because
know.
the other one would be a swage, right?
Yeah,
So I don't know.
I'm assuming they're the dapper dies, but they look like, a ball bearing on a stick sort of thing. And I used that to open it. But before actually I did that, this was I thought this was very smart of me. So I had to needle the whole piece before I soldered it, and then I curled up or spiraled up some galvanized wire into these nice sort of wave like curly cues. And I used a chisel, much like you, to just open the boat a little bit. I slipped them inside, and because it was annealed, I laid it on a piece of moose leather, and then I put another piece of moose leather on top of it, and I smacked it a lot with a hammer, and that wire imprinted into the side. So I have a very symmetrical patterns on both of them. Now, because the indents on the inside, if you look down, you can see it better, but you can see it from the outside. It didn't quite come out as nice as I want, but in the right light, it really pops nicely. So I'm quite happy with that. So that looked really, really cool. So it has some nice little aquatic swirls. And then I'm like, okay, I want it to be shiny, so I cleaned it all up, and I figure, okay, I will put a coat on it so it keeps the shiny, which only actually sort of worked because I've been abusing it a lot. And yeah, well, and then the problem was to attach the two hulls together because I'd already put the clear coat. I've been having severe adhesion problems and not wanting to like scrape it all off. Um, and I don't want to put holes in it to then that I have to then solder shut. So that has been the nightmare is trying to get the netting in the middle to sit properly. And you will notice when you look at it, obviously, the hull is the keel is painted black. I would always planned on doing that because I kind of like that look. Uh, but there's a blue trim around the outside. I've actually painted all of the scallops blue. And actually, the reason why they're painted blue is it covers up kind of the ugly glue a little bit on the inside. So they're,
You get to glue his boat together.
I did, but I should have done it the other way. I should have actually soldered it earlier and then cleaned it up afterwards. But again, comes down to that order of operations thing.
Yeah,
However,
100%.
what I did notice is when I made the single hulls and I put them in the water, again, the freeboard was very, very thin. They floated, but as soon as I attached them both together and I got the right balance so that they're sitting in the right direction, like the compared to each other. So I think they're actually, if you look really closely, they're slightly tilted in. and their freeboard is actually much better. And I put a little Lego dude on it, and they float in my bathroom sink. I have not taken them to a river yet.
And you have no mast, so
I have
if
no
it's
mast,
if it's a puddle
so
race,
yeah. I don't know. It depends on how it runs down the current. Depends if there's a wind.
and there's a wind. It's not that the wind is blowing.
It's
um, so I thought it would be interesting to tell the whole story because we did kind of tease it in the last one, the whole story of why this is kind of very significant for the two of us. Um, I, I, I don't know if you have. I'll start the story. You feel to interject it if you
okay.
remember it
When you get
differently.
it wrong, I'll fix it.
Yeah. So long and ever ago, 420 moons ago, we both worked at we worked at Bon Echo together. Both of us brand new leaders in this position that we had, kind of co-leaders of the education team. And our supervisor smartly said to us, "You guys have to walk every trail, and to do it safely, because some of them are kilometers long, like 8 and 12 and 16 kilometers long. You got to go together. So if one of you gets hurt, the other one can." And we're like, okay. We
It's
weren't
also
really
was a good way. I think her actual intention was not that she was worried about her safety, but it was a good way for us to get to know each other because we hadn't met yet.
100%. That was like the side benefit to it. But again, like I would make my staff walk it together anyway. But it was 100% an intention to get us to know each other better. Because when you walk a trail, you can probably stay quiet for 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. At some point, you're like, I got to go to the washroom, or I got food, or you got,
We'll also interject here. So we had met before we started doing the
yeah,
trails. We met at the staff house, and neither one of us had a great opinion of the other from the initial meeting.
yes, yeah. Uh, to
So
get to
this was probably
one,
also a good way for our boss to say, "Hey, you got to work together." So figure it out.
one of us was an extreme geek, and one of us was an extreme nerd. I'll let you decide who was who, but um, a- again, it was it was an interesting mix. And I would say that again, it wasn't. We were kind of sizing each other up and like chatting and everything. We weren't. I didn't dislike you, and you didn't dislike me, but we weren't. You know,
We weren't like besties off the cuff.
no. And at some point, one of the trails, I think it was the Shield Trail. I don't know what you remember.
It was the Shield Trail because
Okay.
about how like it was a 4 kilometer long trail,
Yeah.
and about the halfway point there was a lake that we stopped to have like a little trail snack,
Yeah.
and we were
Yeah.
sitting by that lake, and that was the trail that it was on.
Yeah. And then we sat down on the side of the lake to view across the lake as we're having our munchies or whatever. I don't know whether we brought lunch, but I do remember both of us had food. And like as you do, sitting on the side of the lake, you start throwing things in said lake. And it escalated to a point of who could, hit a certain thing or float certain things and like knock the other person's thing over. And there was a little. Was there a stream that went out of that one? I don't
There
remember. It
was. It
doesn't.
was a stream that went out of that lake to another one, and I can't remember who made the suggestion, but one of us suggested let's race sticks down the river.
Yeah, and it was a very natural suggestion. Neither of us were like, "What? What are you talking about?" It was like, "Yeah,
But the
of
other one
course
was
we're gonna
100% on board.
100% we're gonna do this," and we did. And it became a thing for the remainder of the trails. Was we would be like, "Okay, next stream we got to race pine cones, or next stream we got to race leaves, or whatever." And it became such a thing that behind the staff house there was a little creek that we actually got our staff involved in. We would have month or weekly competitions to just. You had to be a piece of garbage. It had to be. You could build whatever. It had to be under a size of certain.
When we
All
had
this.
rules, like
Yeah.
if your boat got stuck, you had It had to be like a count of 5, and then you could nudge it with a stick, but not your
Yeah,
hand. Oh yeah, it
yeah.
was like
It got
over and above.
serious. There was a trophy, wasn't there?
There was a plastic kiddie boat that
Yeah,
was probably about a foot and a half long. That everybody, when you won the race, you got to sign your
you
name on
got to
it.
sign it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. And that went on for a couple years
Oh
at the
yeah.
staff house for sure. So yeah, boat races, and really from that moment, not that exact moment, but that was kind of a very key bonding experience for the two of us. And after that, it was like, oh, this guy's not that bad, and
Yeah.
we started competing in other things, and the competition side of things. Almost everything we did from then on, if we can
Silly,
compete in it,
unimportant
we're good.
competitions.
Yeah,
They've
yeah,
always been there. But even still today, like when you hike with your kids and I hike with my kids, or we hike together, you find a river, let's find a stick, and now it's the kids. Like my kids are like, ooh, there's a river up ahead. You know, go pick your stick. I'm like, okay.
yep. And it's not it's and again, you're like, do I get to modify, or like, they're like, pick the rules, I'm good, you know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, no,
So
very, very, very much so.
all that being said, of course, we are going to race these boats. Now we're going to post this on Thursday, which is the 27th. Is that right?
I believe
It's the
so. Yes.
24th today, 25th. Yeah, 27th. And on that day, while it's posted and everybody gets to vote on this area, you're going to be up at actually my place. You and your family are coming up, and I've got a river. I've got actually one river, and it's got a couple different sections. So there's a nice, straight, easy. I think it's fairly deep, nice section for your boat.
Okay.
And then there's some other curvy spots, and so yeah, we're going to be doing our metallic boat race. This is the first metal boat race that we've ever done.
Yep.
So
Awesome. I was wondering if you had a stream picked out or not.
I
So
do. I do. We got a bit of hiking
excellent.
to do, but I think we're all okay with that. So
Yep. Sounds good. Sounds good. I am, I like my cute little boat, but I'm not very confident in the racing of said boat.
so does the winner of the race get a leg up in the competition?
I would have originally, if you asked me at the beginning of this, I would have said, heck yeah. Um, right now, because there's not the tiebreaker of the thing. What is the type? One wins online, one wins the boat race. And is it a single boat race, like the first time we put them in water, the first race, or is this like best of three, or?
I don't know. Let's say one of our boats finishes and the other one capsizes.
I don't know. I don't know if we can come up with a reasonable thing. I'm down. Well, if we do, we'll post it in our stories, and we'll come up with a. Yep.
Sounds good.
We could maybe even do the weigh off, where how many marbles can it hold, or something like that, and
Oh
that
yeah,
could be
yeah.
that could be the tiebreaker or something.
Put a Lego person in it, make sure they survive the trip.
Yeah. Yeah. Do I get to tie him to my mast, or
Only if you put it at the very top.
hands up in the air? Ah!
I don't know. I think you should put one of your little metal men from the last competition in there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That wouldn't add any weight to it at all. You're not trying to get
No,
a
not at all.
unfair
Not at
advantage
all.
at all. The mast is removable. It's so there's a nut welded to the bottom part of the ballast thing, and that's actually it screws into it. The wood screws into it, so I can unscrew the mast
Oh, fancy,
if
fancy.
it's too unfair of an advantage. So
I don't know. It depends on how windy it is. If it's blowing your boat over sideways or not.
that's true. That's true.
Well, the river we're going on is Baxter Creek, and the section I'm thinking about right now, there used to be an old rail line, and it's actually the tunnel under the rail line, and so it comes out nice and straight and smooth.
Ooh, that's
Um,
fun. Fun.
so you definitely want to bring up like shorts so you can wade in the water to fish out your boat after it capsizes.
That's probably smart. I'll bring a couple magnets too, because
Throw in the big magnet.
I've
That one
never
works fine. Mine's copper.
I I'm under no grand illusion that I'm going to lose my boat, because at some point it'll hit something and sink. It's whether I can locate it after that.
Get it back out. Well,
Yeah.
we'll make sure all the kids bring swimsuits and they can go diving for it.
Throw the kids in after it. Yeah, love it, love it.
Absolutely. So you know what's going to happen though? We're going to put our boats in, and the kids are going to have their own little found boats. And their boats are going to
Dick our
kick our
boats.
butts.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if you were these have anything to do with you. I don't. Do you not remember those when we went camping at Bon Echo and we had the beach with the
Vaguely,
kids?
yeah.
These we played with these, and I don't know who gave them to my kids, but we have one for each kid. They were somewhat of an inspiration with the sail, obviously you can see. So I have these two little wooden boats. They have no keel on them, but they definitely float. So I was like, I was going to bring them as a, you know, fun little
Absolutely.
thing too.
We got more stuff to float down a river, but I'm definitely feeling with this one, regardless of how it goes and everything. I can see a boat race 2.0 coming in a future year.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, got some feeling. We'll probably have to put some more parameters on it from instead of this one. It was completely free form, but I could see another round.
It's going to be submarine. It's
so
going to be
so
yellow submarine.
yeah, but the caveat would be it couldn't be on the ground. It would have to you would have to get the density right, the buoyancy, so it you'll have to be
Fine.
staying on the shore with an air tube to blow into it.
Ooh, that would could be something. You know those ones you put the balloon on and it blows the air out?
Yeah. Well, there's also like I've run into a couple people at markets and whatnot. In India, they had tin boats that had a little like it had a mechanic with a boiler that you lit a bit of
Yeah.
fire and it made it go.
The Do you know who Hand Tool Rescue is?
No.
He's Canadian. He restores things. He's kind of like the first guy that did it on YouTube. And he actually right now on his, if you look him up on Instagram, his all of his stories are about restoring a steam powered ship that's like this big, and it's a toy steam powered ship from like 1900.
Oh, that's cool.
And it has a little miniature, like you know those little steam motors that you see, like the toy ones and
Hmm.
whatever. It essentially has a full working steam motor inside it that provides propulsion for the propeller that you can, like steer and rudder and the whole thing. I'm just like, it's crazy. So
Nice. That might be a bit beyond, but we'll figure something out.
yeah, yeah, cool.
All right, I go for you just because it's related. Coolest nautical vessel you've been on?
Ooh, coolest nautical vessel I've been on. Like been stepped foot on or been out in the water on. I'm going to go small because I can. My dad remembers when he was a kid a flat bottom plywood boat that him and his brothers used to take out. He grew up on the St. Lawrence River, and they're nigh impossible to flip over. Very, very stable things. And I had one at our hunt camp growing up. That's what I learned to fish out of. And I mean, you could stand like kids could run around in this thing and everything. Um, and it was just found on the side of the road. I It might have been $20 on the side of the road, and we threw it in the truck and took it to camp. It's long and since deteriorated and rotted away. And about 4 years ago, my dad got the crazy notion that we were going to build one. So my dad, my uncle, and me in my uncle's workshop built a plywood boat modeled off of the one that they had as a kid, and did the whole thing, built the whole thing, painted it, and got it going. And it floats at camp. And the first time taking it out with my dad and my kids in the boat, I had to face forward and just like tears run down my eyes and everything like that. So
Oh,
so that out of all the vessels and stuff, I mean, there's some other ones, but that one's pretty special.
it's got a yeah, no, absolutely. That's cool. See, so the metal one's not the first boat you've ever built.
Nope, nope,
Your
not the
boat
first
should have
one.
been better.
Yep.
You should have done a flat bottom steel boat. Yeah, that worked.
Maybe that's my next one. That could be actually. You know what? We go 2.0. I might write that down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, a
there you
little,
go.
little flat bottom, little barge or scow of some sort. Nice. See, mine isn't. It wasn't on the boat. It was being pulled behind it. Um,
It was being keel hauled when I
It
was.
was being killed. No, no, not pulled under it. No, I was down in when I used to work on the cruise ship, which was a cool ship in and of itself. Um, but we were down in one of the Caribbean islands. I can't even remember which one. And I got to go. I think it's paragliding when you get pulled behind a boat with a parachute on, um,
Yeah, or parasailing, I think.
or
Like,
parasailing. It's one of the
yeah,
two. I can't remember.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, so you get to go up, and it was such a clear day that it was just amazing. Get a you're behind the boat on like a little tube, sort of a flat thing, and then you get lifted up in the air. And then you can see down, and the water is clear enough. Like you can see stingrays and sharks and that swimming through the reefs. It was just phenomenal. Uh, so not as touching as your story, but I didn't have tears in my eyes,
Yeah.
um, except from the wind going. You're like, why?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it was really, really cool. I only got to do it once, but it was quite the experience. So
I have done that in Kingston, at a Kingston Harbor once. That was,
nice.
yeah.
Bet you didn't see stingrays.
I did not see stingrays. No. So that's your eggel.
That's my
Uh,
eagle.
okay. So for an Andrew's ask, um, going a little deep here.
Oh,
As as far as your smithing is concerned, and this could be injury or looking to the future or something like that. But what is your what's one of your biggest fears in, like, is it that you're gonna, like, again, I'm just thinking, like, you work in a lot of sheet metal, there's a lot of sharp edges, you're gonna cut your finger, cut tendons and stuff, or is it, like, what's the biggest fear in this?
what's the biggest fear?
I can go first if you want.
Yeah, please do.
So my biggest fear, living in the townhouse that I live in, is that somebody is going to not like what I'm doing and complain enough to make it hard enough for me to enjoy what I do. Um, and like, because I'm not a vindictive person. If I knew I was, like, you know what I mean, like, not the HOA or whatever, but like if enough neighbors were like, that's ridiculous, or the smell or the noise or whatever, I would feel bad every time I do it, and I actually subconsciously do have that. Even when I do it now, even when I'm at your place, I like, your neighbors are far enough away and stuff, but I'm
I
like
was gonna
swinging the
say
hammer and
you
stuff.
really don't have to worry
But
about it
I'm
at my
like,
place.
but you can hear the echo off your neighbor across the road's house when I'm down there smashing away.
Yeah, but it's no different from like you know you're doing construction. So
Yeah, and of course, I'm
and
not
there's
doing it all the
lots of
time.
space around.
Yeah, but they could be, you know what I mean? Like, there could be, like, I'm trying to record a podcast and you're smashing away on whatever, or this is the one chance I have to sit outside and you're doing that, or the smell of the coal or something like that, set somebody's.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
And where you are, you're in a townhouse in Burlington. 100%. When I was living in Guelph, I actually had some of those issues with the neighbor who was renting. Same idea. Um, I'm not sure I believed them. I think they were a bit annoyed with the sound, which would be fine. But they kept telling me like they could feel the vibration, you know, all the way over. Maybe that was the case. I don't know. Regardless, it was frustrating for them, and that was fine. And so we talked about it. We set up a okay. Well, can you forge in this time of day on these days and not others? And it was fine. It worked out. But yeah, I can
but
see
it
that.
but it got to the point where you stopped doing it for a while too, right? Like, it made it,
It
because
made it harder.
yeah,
Absolutely.
you kind of, I remember you were kind of getting into it. We built the forge, and like, you made some friends some stuff and some cheese knives and stuff, and then it kind of dropped off too. So because of that, it made it more difficult. So
It definitely did. There's a challenge going on there, but you're also very friendly, and most of your neighbors are very curious what you're doing,
yeah,
and so
I'm very lucky that way for sure. But I mean, there could be, there's enough turnover and stuff here that somebody could,
Absolutely.
like one of my neighbors years ago when I was making those big metal trees, she came over and she was like, "Is that you making that noise?" And I was like, "What noise?" Again, she's like, "My kid hasn't slept and it's just down for a nap." And I was like, "Okay, so when do they nap? And like, when should I do this? And when can I do this? And whatever." And but again, every time I'm doing it, I'm like, "Should I? Could I? Would I?" So
Yep. No, it's fair. That is a concern where you are. I don't have that concern here. Most of my neighbors are good and far away, and they don't care. Also, I don't do a lot of blacksmithing anymore, so most of my pounding annoys my family inside the house, and I'm okay with that. But to answer your question, now that I had a moment to ponder, my biggest fear comes when we're using the foundry.
mm,
When we're melting metal and there's that pour, um, both one property, like something happens and we do it outside, but we're still fairly close to the garage, and that something happens and the house catches on fire. Like, we do everything we can not to do that, but it's in the back of your head, or just there's a there's a trip, a fall, a spill, or whatnot, and that's a really scary burn. So, we wear lots of PPE and all that. So, we mitigate as much risk as we can, but there's a risk there. And it's, especially I remember the first time we were doing it, like, oh my God.
yeah, yeah. And
So,
that, I mean, it's like the first time lighting a propane forge. You're like, uh.
yeah.
First time it
uh,
goes bang, you're like, "Oh my goodness."
So, absolutely. That's the one that, yeah. I hadn't thought about slicing tendons until you brought it up. So, that's my new fear now.
Well, because I have heard of tinsmiths or like the HVAC guys cutting their fingers bad enough that they can no longer do the job that they're doing because they don't have the dexterity after they cut their fingers, cut their tendons. They can't grab the pliers and stuff that they need
You
to
can't
do to
do
do
that.
it.
I can see that. Yeah. I could see that. But no, I haven't worried about it. Again, there's certain jobs that I'll definitely wear gloves, certain jobs I don't. So good Andrew asks.
There you go. Do you have a libation today?
I did. Um, it's
Empty.
on. I was drinking a Summersby blackberry flavored cider.
Ooh, sounds sweet.
Yeah, but it's not like a super sweet cider, so you know, not too bad.
Fair enough.
What were you drinking, or
Uh,
are still drinking?
I'm still nursing mine a little bit. I have some ginger beer with some whiskey. So,
Ooh, homemade?
no, no. Yeah, like I poured it together. Is that
Yeah,
what you're
but you
asking? It
didn't
wasn't from a
you didn't
can.
make the ginger beer yourself.
No.
No. I know you don't make whiskey, but we have made ginger beer.
I mean, it's not really put it past either of us. You're a tinsmith.
Yeah, I know. We could put
We
together a
could make a
still.
still.
Okay, there you go. There is a future project. We've been looking for something to collaborate on.
There, yeah.
We'll
Okay.
make some moonshine.
Well, I still have those hops growing in my front yard.
There you go.
So, sidebar story. At my cottage, there was a hop plant growing in the tree, and my uncle hated it because it would take over the side where he puts his trailer, and then all the hops would fall into his trailer, and he hated it. So he ripped it down for years. Years. Complained to me about it. He's like, "What is this plant?" Because I'm a park ranger. I know what these things are. He's like, "What is this?" And I was actually like, "I have no idea what that is." Looked it up, brought leaves home, and was like, "Hops? Why is hops growing at my camp? This is the weirdest thing. How did it get here? Why is it here? It's not in the city at all, right? Um, but in the clearing by my camp, there was this hop plant. So I dug some up, brought it back to my house, and put it in a pot, and it has grown. I honestly don't think I could kill the stuff if I tried. Um, so I have a very voracious hop plant in my front yard. No idea what I.
All right. Well, we'll have to look up plans on how to build a still.
Yep. Start growing some barley and
Also, on a related, you know, whiskey-esque note, since you are coming up, I don't know if I think I told you. So we had a ice cream maker that I bought for my wife for her birthday last year, and it died this year. So it only lasted about a year, and we got it at Costco, and it had a year warranty, and apparently it was close enough that they took it back, and we replaced it with a Ninja slushy machine,
oh,
which makes some very nice slushy drinks, both kid friendly and kid not friendly. But I got some Canadian corn whiskey to make some whiskey sours.
okay.
So,
I have a gullet that would test some of your whiskey
which
sour
we'll
with me.
try those out. So that being said, if there is a spirit that you have that you would like to slushify with something, feel
Okay.
free to bring some
Okay. Sounds good.
random.
Yep. No, no,
So,
that's good.
you know, no drunken boating though.
No, no.
So I know we mentioned it earlier. We're going to post this on Thursday, August 27th. Do check out our Instagrams, Tapley Tinsmith, Deer Run Forge, and most importantly, Brothers in Smithing. That's the one we'd love you to go to. Look at the stories and vote for your favorite. You can also catch it on our Brothers in Smithing TikTok, and you can also vote for your favorite there as well. And hopefully, you like mine because I'm losing right now.
The
So I just chat like I was just going over the stats. I was just putting in the last competition, which was our Pride Month challenge. Um, you took it, and that gives you a four, no, three. You're up by three now. So
I was gonna say the 3 is the highest gap we've ever had. So
so hopefully I can take this one and close the gap. Although it was interesting. Um, so on our Instagram, I got smoked. Uh, but on TikTok, we were neck and neck.
hmm, interesting.
So yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, do check them out and vote for your favorite, and which is awesome because just like the feedback. As we said earlier, like our relationship is really based upon competition, but unimportant, silly competition
Yeah, where the points are made up
because
and the
we
game
enjoy
doesn't matter.
exactly
Yeah.
whose line is it anyways.
Um. So that's this month. Next month, I've got some questions.
Yes, because next month we're doing the Bear Room Challenge.
Room. So nothing
So
in the room, just bare room.
it's just a bear room. No bear room. So to give a backstory. So the cottage I grew up in, which is now my sister's cottage, um, she has named the bedrooms mostly animals. So there's the chipmunk room, the heron room, the loon room, the bear room, and then the loo, which I always thought should have been the dung beetle room, but they just put a outhouse sign on it instead, which was boo. But we have done so. One of the things that our second ever challenge ever was for the heron room. My sister wanted cupboard door pulls and drawer pulls in a heron style, so we both did those. And then when we did the light switch cover challenge, I did chipmunks, which are in the chipmunk room now. Last fall, we did a loon inspired mirror, which is in the loon room. And so now this year it is the bear room that we need to do something for. Um,
And you haven't given me very much other than bear.
I know I don't, well, because that's what I'm trying to think. I've been trying to think of probably a decor of some sort. But I'm trying to think of something that goes in it. Like and it's not even like the room is at the back of the cottage. It has one kind of piddly window, so like a window covering thing really wouldn't work very well. Um No, I was thinking maybe um, coat rack, potentially like a clothing hook or something like that could be something, or just it could just be wall art because we haven't done straight wall art.
Wall art, or do you want to incorporate hooks to it?
Well, that would be the coat hooky thingy. I don't know. Um, my material is not great for hooks, like for strong hooks.
Yeah, I know, but like it doesn't have. I didn't say coat hook. It could just be like like those key racks, like
Yeah,
the
it could
when
be
you.
a key rack, a key hook, something like that. Um,
Or do you want to just go straight wall art, and if there's hooks, there's hooks?
that's where I'm feeling right now because I haven't really put much thought in it yet. So,
Okay, let's do that.
um, yeah.
We'll start there.
So
Sounds
I
good.
don't know what it's going to be yet. It's one of those things. Again, it's been such a busy summer. I haven't had time looking ahead because, yeah, really, we're winding down because we only have until December all pre-planned.
Yep, we're gonna have to get
Although
some new
some of the
ones.
ones I was looking at are like, whoa, those are crazy.
Yeah, we could retalk August or October. I mean,
What? Really? I was thinking November and December.
right. Don't forget, kids in school. We got more time.
Kids are in school, get more time. Um, yeah,
Anyway,
absolutely. And I like having the hard challenges. Yes, like so. Right now, I think I told you the project that I was working on for the people at Lang. Did I actually
yeah,
mention what it
yeah,
was?
yeah.
Yeah. So
The
that was
vertical
like
cooker thing. Yeah.
yeah, the vertical reflective of it. But it's that whole plan of okay, that's the image. How do we build it? Like that's fun for my brain. So I am looking forward to some of the ones.
The mill I blacksmith at is actually has opened back up to the public. They
That's
were going to
great.
have their actually going to have their grand opening this week. I'm currently planning to be at somebody else's house for the
I
grand opening, but beside the point. So I'll be able to get back down there shortly and hopefully get some fire up a bigger forge and do some other stuff. So,
that'll be fun too.
mm-hmm.
There we go. Well, those will be good.
Fingers
Well, good
crossed.
luck, sir.
Mm-hmm. You too. And again, we're ramping up to market season and all the things. So this is like the low, and it's like to me, it's like starting back up the hill. So hopefully, this gets us some momentum and our ships sail smoothly. No, anyway, it'll be interesting. We'll post some stuff. I'm sure we'll have lots of shenanigans.
Yeah, we'll probably post a video of one of the boat races as your ship capsizes.
There's already
And
one
mine
online.
sails on past the finish
Yeah,
line.
that'll be the thing. Well, but good luck with the voting. Check us out on Brothers and Smithing on Instagram and TikTok, and vote for your favorite, and let us know what you think because that's why we do this.
Sounds great. Good luck. Good
You
luck and
too.
good night.
You have the best sign.
What's yours? The huzzah
See ya.
or whatever it is.
See ya.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
It's see ya, but you got to
You should
yell it
say.
together as one word. See ya.
Oh, you should say huzzah. Much better. Huzzah.